Hey guys, it's Brandon here back from Torch Productions for another client spotlight, and with me from EOS Worldwide is Murray Smith. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks Brandon, thanks for having me.
Mate, it's a pleasure. We first interacted with you about 6 months ago and we did a content explosion day, but since you've been coaching us and mentoring us with our business, which I'm going to tell everyone about because it's just been truly transformational for us. But EOS, most people don't know what that is. Yeah. Tell everyone, what is it?
So in its simplest form, it's just I help business owners get what they want from their business, and I do that by implementing a really simple and effective system. It's not an IT system, it's a practice, it's a discipline in how to run your business, and it'll give you three things: vision, traction and healthy. Vision being everyone will be 100% on the same page across the whole entire business. Traction is all about making sure you can see the discipline and the accountability on executing that vision. And finally, healthy, just having a really healthy leadership team prepared to have the discussions that other teams aren't. And as the leadership team goes, so does the rest of the organisation. And I've had some great results over the years, and working in Geelong and Melbourne and Brisbane as well. So it's been a great ride for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, the things that stood out to me were, you initially sent me the book Traction by Gino Wickman.
Yeah.
And that was I read that in 2 days. It was very easy.
Yeah.
But then what things stood out to me was we got our business plan down to 2 pages.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy.
Yeah.
But also the clarity Ben and I got from just recalibrating our business, coming up with our passion statement, our 3 uniques. We documented our process. We got clear on who our ideal customer is, and then we've gotten to this real cadence of 90-day planning. Yeah. With respect to what we aim for, but also what we do every day. Yeah. And I just have to say, mate, I thank you so much for that because it's simple. It's actually more simple than I was expecting. Yeah. Yet I think where most people fall down is the daily, weekly and monthly application of it. Yeah. So thanks. It's not all me though. It's really you and Ben that have been doing the hard work. It's like I say, I can teach you how to do the push-up, but you got to do the push-up. So you and Ben are doing the push-up, so that's great. In terms of simple, it is simple, but that doesn't always mean it's easy. So you've got to have the discipline, which you two guys clearly do. And it's great to see that you're having fantastic results with it. And I look forward to seeing you grow even bigger. Oh, mate, let me ask you, right, because we obviously film with you, with your clients. So we got to literally ask them how it worked for them. Yeah. And a lot of them were bigger businesses than ours, as an example, right? Yeah. Some of them are family businesses, I noticed, which brings a whole realm of other challenges. But I want to ask you, because you've talked to me before about, take motivation out of it and just focus on consistency. Yeah. You talk a lot about how if you just give consistent, good customer service, you can really have separation from your competition. But I wanted to ask you, mate, it's 2023, landscape's changing all the time. Yeah. In your small little part of the world, what are you noticing is the biggest thing businesses are missing, which is a clear, obvious thing to address to be better, quicker? And also, where are the key things, what are those key things that you see people falling down doing that are just so easy to address to get a win quickly? Yeah, so there's probably 3 things I would say there, Brandon. The first one would be just the clarity, right? And have they communicated that to the team? Often you see businesses where the owner might know exactly where they're taking the business, but it's never really been put in a way that everyone can consume. So and internally you're referencing, it's just as important to have clarity internally. Yeah. So there's you'd be surprised how many people outside of a leadership team actually don't know where a business is going. So that's really important. The second part is accountability and making sure everyone's clear about who's accountable for what. We do this thing called an accountability chart that helps people understand exactly where the accountabilities lie for important functions in the business. And the third one that I see a lot, because it turns a lot of people off, is it sounds like a very boring word, but it's process. And why process is so important is you've got to document it, not to the nth degree, so you've got a 700-page manual, but just you've got your processes documented in a way so your employees can have consistency, and equally so can your customers, because service excellence is what it's all about. And if you leave a vacuum, for good or bad, the people you lead will fill that vacuum with their interpretation of what needs to happen. And if that's not in line with what you want to do as a business,
then that can get pretty messy at times and expensive. So they're probably the three things that I reckon you need to really focus on in the first instance.
I love it. I mean, from Ben and I being able to work with you and witness the work you do with your clients, and then to start applying it with you ourselves, it's crazy how much of a difference it's made because we've kept each other accountable.
Yeah.
You know, and we've also had tough conversations with each other around what we're spending our time on doing and if it's serving us, but also we're able to actually view evidence and data now. From having done this 6-week batch since the start of the year, we can actually really glean some pretty good insights from it.
Yeah, so what you're seeing there, Brandon, is you're seeing that part called healthy. That you're having the conversations that you otherwise wouldn't have because suddenly it's not personal, it's about the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, we're actually not hitting our numbers here. Who's accountable for that? Well, you are, Brandon. Okay. Or Ben might say, my work pipeline looks a bit thin, which means who's accountable for sales? Okay, let's talk about that and drive that through. So now you're actually talking about the problem and not the person, which is really important.
Yeah, totally. Well, what I wanted to say to people watching, because obviously we love shining a spotlight on our clients, particularly the ones that have given us so much value in return.
Yeah, sure.
But you've got a process of your own, right?
Yeah.
And for people who want to just find out more, tell me who's the typical type of person, job, role, position, whatever, and what's that first step they can take with you to find out more?
Yeah, so in terms of the typical person that I would first touch base with, it can range from the owner of a business, from the CEO to someone on the leadership team. But generally, they're all feeling the same thing. They'll be frustrated or they'll be feeling some sort of pain about why isn't this business where it should be? And that might be in the form of they're always talking about people issues, profit isn't there, they're trying to scale, they don't know how, whatever it might be. But there's always there's some sort of pain. And for me, it's more important understanding that pain in the first instance because there may not be a fit. Right? So EOS may not be for them. So we just need to understand where the business is at. So we'll have a deep conversation about that. If there is a fit, generally what we need to see in the teams is the leadership teams are the ones that I work with. They need to be really open and honest and vulnerable and be prepared to consider change rather than stay with the status quo. It requires a real commitment, so it's really hard. But they're generally the people that I first touch base with. In terms of getting in contact with me, well, of course, you can go to the EOS Worldwide website and just type in my name as Find an Implementer. Equally, I've got my own website that's still running, which is grip6.com.au. It's just my business name that I use underneath EOS Worldwide. You can access that. I've got a YouTube channel as well.
And that's where people can do a 90-minute
meeting
with you.
So they can get in touch and then I'm happy to take them for a 90-minute meeting. It goes really quick. You learn a lot about your business and then from there you can make a decision about whether EOS is for you or not.
I'm just going to do one thing that we don't usually do on this video, just to prove everyone that Ben's actually here. I'm going to ask Ben behind the camera if there's a question he wants me to ask Murray or something that he wants me to share with the viewer that you've really loved.
How we restructured his YouTube channel.
Yes. It's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
So one of the things we did for you was restructuring your YouTube channel. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Look, honestly, I just did that myself. And there's one thing prior to your involvement, and there's one thing you always know when you look at things and you go, yeah, it's good enough and that'll do. But you don't really know what good looks like or even what great looks like until someone with the right skills comes along and shows you. And that's what you guys did. You showed me and said, look, it's okay, your content's there, but check this out. And then you showed me a couple of tiles and thumbnails that you could do. And the difference is pretty significant between what it used to look like and what it looks like now. So I really appreciate that. And I'm really quite happy about that. And equally, I'd say, even in terms of the video production work that you've done with me more broadly, has just been brilliant. I mean, I get so many comments from people that I'm engaging with, either as current clients or prospective clients or just people I'm talking to, even other EOS implementers, and they just go, wow, that's pretty amazing. That's who did this. It looks really, really high end. So can't thank you enough for that.
Kudos to you, Ben Thompson, behind the camera. All right, guys, well, that's Murray Smith, grip6.com.au, the number 6. He's our business coach. He should be yours too. He's amazing. Thanks for coming on, man.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.